Come in, Team 32.
Morning, Keith.
Notice anything different about me? Are you dead? I'll throw it open again.
You're bolted into your chair with metal clamps?
Warmer.
Oh, and your chair is riveted to the floor in reinforced concrete.
We have a veritable forest fire.
Yes.
Stop, Victor. The department is running environmental catastrophe simulations all day.
Oh.
We're testing employees' preparedness for the kind of on-the-spot natural disasters we can all expect to become part of our daily grind in the soon-to-nearish future. Tornado!
Whoa! What are you doing, King? That is a ludicrous contraption!
You don't look very prepared for that, Team 32. I, by contrast, made me and my office 130% tornado-proof.
Turn it off, Keith!
Poor disaster preparation, Team 32. Pull your socks up, or Mother Nature is going to eco-slam you from now until 6, which is also by when I will be requiring your brief. On my desk, bye. The department committee wants you to churn out a researched brainstorm on the cantankerous issue of immigration plus asylum.
Oh, no, immigration!
Terrible
no.
one. Knew I should have hidden in the cupboard today.
Here is that brief. Catch. Hey, I reckon I can tornado you and your brief out the door. Left, right a bit, and out you go. Lovely wind control, Keith Bilk. Briefing meeting terminated.
The department, far from the gaze of an unsuspecting public, and untouched by the tentacles of Westminster. The department has been secretly running the country since Come Closer, I'll Tell You Too Slow. Deep within its labyrinthine headquarters works a dedicated three-man think tank. Oscar Prout, who pulls out and brandishes long-dead rabbits from the top hat of history. Victor Gooch, tosser of legal cabers and financial toreador. And Laszlo Wolff, who dances statistical limbos under science's precarious pole. Each week, they are required to investigate possible solutions to one of the nation's major problems. Each week, your future is in their hands.
Let's pop into the egg bar to get some breakfast.
Have they got a new chicken?
Yep.
Good. Horace was rubbish. He couldn't lay an egg to save his life.
As you've so off-puttingly proved.
That chicken was useless.
Henry VI, it's freezing in here.
Come on, Horace, Joe. Let's warm you back up to recommended chicken temperature.
Looks like they've installed the department's research ice cap in here to see whether we'd cope if global warming prompts yet another ice age.
Hey, look! I think that's a frozen Captain Oates down there.
Didn't he die in Antarctica?
No, he chartered a plane home when he got sick of Captain Scott teasing him about his frostbite. They hauled him in to work for a department project on the long-term practicalities of living on ice caps. One day he turned up dressed as a seal and beat himself to death. Strange, man.
Ooh, right. Well, while we're waiting for them to defrost Horace too, let's have a look at this brief.
The colour's coming back into your beak.
Immigration. It's the political snooker ball, shoved down the sock of exaggeration, swung round and round by politicians and smashed repeatedly into the eye socket of the British public.
Yep, immigration has won the prestigious Most Childishly Treated Political Issue Award for the last 4 years in succession.
It's one thing to win it, but you've got to be really infantile to retain it.
Oh, he's back! Now push, Horace, too! Oh, it's an egg! Well done, little fella!
Egg, please, chef.
How do you want it?
Well, I'm too cold to wait. Just crack it in my mouth.
All right, here goes.
Oh, yuck! Horace, too? You're as bad as your dad!
Oh, come on, let's go back to the office before our quest for breakfast freezes us to death.
Quick, chef, just hold him above my face.
You're the boss.
Attention department employees. The head calendar monitor wishes to apologise that due to an administrative error, we are currently living in the year 1741. He hopes both to correct the problem by the end of the day, and more pressingly, to rediscover the cure for typhoid.
You can borrow my pelt next time, Oscar.
Just not comfortable wearing a dead animal.
It's a roadkill pelt. Morally, it's fine.
Well, that depends who was driving.
I was, at 90 miles an hour, through a safari park. That flamingo didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, I still think it's not my colour. Right, brief time. Britain, right from its unspectacular opening ceremony, has always been shaped by immigration. The very fundamentals of British society are all immigrants. Democracy, for example, that immigrated to us from ancient Greece.
Coming over here, broadening our horizons.
Yeah, and 99% of our words are immigrants. Even the word immigrants. It came over here before the war to escape being translated into German.
But despite all of this, the issue of immigration is still more flammable than a 1970s sofa and even less comfortable to try to sit on.
The entire asylum debate has become hystericalised. I mean, you can scarcely even mention the word asylum nowadays without being branded either a racist or a terrorist sympathiser. So we need to start to defroth this rabid dog's mouth of an issue by installing hysteria alarms in all public places. I'll tell you what, Dave.
What's that, Alistair?
I heard there's 200,000 bogus asylum seekers coming through the Channel Tunnel every day.
Is that so?
That is indeed so.
Well, Alistair, I hear that the governments are going to start teaching Bangladeshi in all schools instead of geography.
Dave, that doesn't surprise me.
Attention, bullshit. Attention, cool down. Deploy sprinklers. Attention, groundless speculation. Attention.
You know what, Dave?
Attention.
We've been talking absolute bunkum.
We have indeed, Alistair. You know, when you stop to think about it rationally, there simply can't be that many of them.
Dave, let me do some more reading about this complicated topic, and we can discuss this matter further at a future juncture.
I look forward to that, Alistair. And in the meantime, it's of course best not to speculate.
Agreed.
Good day.
Until then, good day.
Look, politely alerting people to be more careful when using their innate human predilection for hyperbole won't be enough to cure us of our national hypochondria about asylum in general.
Nor will it stop the journalistas whipping up this issue into a poisonous souffle, eating it and chundering it straight back up onto their typewriters.
Some of our media is borderline racist. Unfortunately, that borderline is not between racist and not racist, but between racist and completely insane. And the Border Patrol guards are fast asleep.
We're all underestimating just how deep the fear of immigration is ingrained into our national tree trunk. If Britain wants to embrace the modern world with anything more than its usual stiffly formal handshake, we will have to take drastic surgical action to remove this prehistoric phobia for good. Mrs. Bates.
Hello.
I'm afraid that you've been diagnosed with general low-level xenophobia aggravated by a second-degree fear of change.
Yeah, my aunties all had the same thing.
We should be able to fix you with a simple operation.
No, you're not coming in.
Miss Mottram, could you sedate Mrs.
Get off
Bates,
me.
please?
Mrs. Bates,
you're very going to feel a thing. Karatito.
Yes, thank you. Nurse, scalpel, please.
Here you go, Doctor.
Right, first I am going to siphon off her excess bile. Hose, please. Right, nurse, suck on the end, and when the liquefied fury starts squirting through, point it at the bucket.
Certainly, Doctor. Oh, that is rank, Doctor.
Looks like she's also contracted a mild strain of the Little Englander virus. Better lop out her swollen spleen, nurse.
Certainly, Doctor.
And you can consider this a verbal warning, nurse.
Doctor, would it be worth removing her eyeballs so that she can't read Britain's favourite newspapers?
Absolutely not, nurse.
As you wish.
I think what I'll do is insert this de-apoplecticator into her skull. If it senses that she's getting too worked up about cosmetic social change, it slowly releases soothing endorphins into her soul. Right. It's in. OK, nurse, stitch her up and tattoo the UN logo onto her arse.
Righty-ho, Doctor. Hey! 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 Yeah! No, yeah!
It's all very well curing our national asylographobia, but planet Britain will still be left on a collision course with a giant logistical meteor. Allow me to put on my statistical sou'wester and prepare for a numerical deluge. There are an estimated 6.7 billion potential asylum seekers currently at large in the rest of the world.
Laszlo, that is an impressively misleading statistic.
Thank you.
Well, can we not castrate this puffin before its cows come home to roost, simply by electronically tagging every single one of these 6.7 billion benefit-hungry vampires before they even potentially flee here?
Well, Victor, you may have diverted that logistical meteor, but you've done it by by opening up a financial black hole.
Of course, the whole immigration processing shebang was much simpler back in our happy-go-lucky imperial days, when we Brits were forcibly immigrating ourselves into various lucrative-looking locations around the world.
You're right. Now, I dug this out of the archives. It's a closed-circuit gramophone recording of an immigration application at Bombay Passport Control in the mid to late 17th century. Listen to this.
Excuse me, you. Is there any chance that you might get out of my way?
I'm afraid so. I'm going to have to ask you a few questions before you march into our country.
Well, make it quick.
First question then, sir. Why do you want to move into our country?
To impose our vastly superior culture on you, you uncivilized pagan yobs.
Okay, and how are you intending to treat our wildlife?
What are my options?
Oh, there's either A, as a precious endangered natural treasure to be nurtured and sustained.
What's B?
You can massacre it bravely in the name of sport, armed only with some massive guns.
Oh, B. Put me down for a capital B. My wife needs a new carpet, and little Bartholomew needs some new tusks for school.
Are you planning to thieve our natural resources?
Yes.
Will you subsequently invite us back to your country to be socially marginalised and racially abused for several generations?
Yes.
And what do you intend to give us in return?
Cricket.
And when you eventually depart, will you leave our country socially and economically stable?
Oh, don't be bloody ridiculous. Look, is there not some standard imperialism box you can tick somewhere on that bloody form?
Don't think so, sir.
Oh, what if I whacked the form with my stick? Would that help at all?
Don't think so, sir.
Shall we try anyway? Whack your stick. Whack your stick.
No, I don't think that's helping.
Perhaps it would help if I whacked you with my stick. Whack! Whack! Is that helping? Whack! Can I come in yet? Can I? Whack! It's a whack-a-sack! Whacky, 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 whacky!
I see how that might have pissed them off.
I think we're missing a one-card trick here. We should roll out an ecstatically red carpet for anyone who has successfully managed to illegally immigrate to this country. These people display precisely the qualities required for a modern, dynamic economy.
You're right. Initiative, stamina, the ability to think outside and inside a box, and a maverick aversion to paperwork.
You could have something there.
Whatever economically self-interested selection criteria we plump for, it is in everyone's interest that the process itself is forced to glug down a bracing speed-me-up.
Absolutely. The current system of keeping asylum seekers in detention centres until they set fire to themselves in frustration is working on neither a practical nor humanitarian level.
I've got an idea. Motor racing might not add much to the sum of human happiness, but its mesmerisingly rapid pit lane skills could accelerate the entire bureaucratic asylum procedure. The customs pit crew are out there in their Home Office overalls. They must be expecting a lorry in any moment now.
And yes, a Y registration Altabelli Calcio is pulling into the immigration pit lane right now.
Well, this crew is quick, Morris, but the Altabelli Calcio is a big truck.
And the clock is running now.
And straight away, 3 customs officials dive underneath the chassis. 4 more are trying to crowbar the back doors open. And they're in! They're in!
But I think they found an Albanian family in the back, Wolf.
Hang on, Morris! I think they found an Albanian family in the back! Well, these are unbelievable scenes!
Well, they're straight into the asylum interview now, so let's go trackside with Esther Trevino.
Morris, they're absolutely grilling the father of the family on whether or not they were in any genuine danger in Albania.
Of course, Esther, if they're denied asylum, they will be loaded into the Home Office catapult and immediately flung straight back to Albania, where a 2-mile catch net has been set up in the outskirts of Tirana.
Well, it sounds like he's claiming to be a doctor. Yes, he's saying he's both willing and able to contribute to British society.
And here comes the decision. Asylum is denied! Sensational!
They're in the catapult.
1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights. Go! 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 Get out of this country!
36.4 seconds. That's laid down a marker for all of Britain's European partners.
Morris, if I'm not very much mistaken, there's a Stilica Kaltz LF82 now being waved into the pits, and it looks like it's come from Turkish Kurdistan. This could be packed to the rafters.
I'm not sure, Laszlo. You'll know who's going to be granted entry before the whole thing begins, and it'll all come down to tactics. Now, is that the immigration we really want to sleep through on a Sunday afternoon?
Ah, lunchtime.
It's nowhere near lunchtime, Laszlo. We've got work to do.
All right, let's vote on it. Victor?
It's lunch. Oscar?
It isn't lunch, Laszlo.
I'm abstaining. Oscar, you're casting vote.
It's lunch.
Yay!
Power to the people.
Good decision, team. But it's a religious lunch in the multi-denominational brasserie today. They're seeing whether religion is any better at creating social harmony through food than it is through words.
Great, let's go.
Zeus Bagel, hold the thunderbolt.
Attention department employees. The Petty Crime Deterrent Unit announced that after several centuries hiatus, the curse will be reintroduced into judicial sentencing. It has been found that the threat of 120 hours community service is a significantly less effective deterrent than the prospect of being turned into a worm.
There you go, Laszlo. One Buddhist lunch.
Thanks, Chef.
Why are there so many donkeys around?
Religious lunch, Victor. Jesus loved donkeys.
Can't have loved them this much, Oscar.
Next.
Catholicism, please.
Right, I'll just fire up the little bonfire for you. Repent, heretic sausage! Repent!
Oh, turn it over.
If you don't repent soon, you'll be overcooked!
I think it repented just then, Chef.
I'll stick a fork in it. Yeah, no, it repented. There you go.
This meditation pasty was a real disappointment. I'm pretty sure it was just a napkin.
It's spiritually nourishing.
Shame they'd run out of bread and butter pudding.
And this clump of grass may well have been the lunch of choice for Toret, the ancient Egyptian hippopotamus goddess, but frankly it could do with a splash of vinaigrette.
It's in the squeezy Tutankhamun.
Oh, cheers.
Hello, Team 32.
Hello, Keith.
Nice hamster ball, Keith.
Victor, our little friend global warming is going to have wildlife mass migrating like you wouldn't believe. My hamster ball keeps me safe from your locusts, your mosquitoes, and as we see here, your donkeys.
A donkey infestation? How likely is that to happen?
That's irrelevant. It's all about how prepared you are for it. And judging by the mess that donkey's backside has just made of your moccasins, Oscar, you're not.
Oh, they're an absolute write-off.
So sorry for your loss.
Oh, and there's going to be a massive heat wave this afternoon. I trust you're going to finally learn your enviro preparedness lesson.
Push him away, Laszlo.
Do not push me away.
Sorry, Keith, I simply don't have the self-control.
No, dangerous momentum! That heat wave will get you even if I don't!
Those donkeys are starting to swarm, look. Come on, let's get back to the office.
Someone get me an upslope!
Attention department employees. The Scapegoating Division would like to announce that the following people are responsible for the ills of society. Men and women, but especially women.
This heatwave's going to give us an Atacama of an afternoon, so we better camel down on this brief.
Don't worry, Oscar. I've dealt with it. And my revised weather forecast for this afternoon is tepid, very mild, good.
Oh, great. I'll keep my cashmere epaulets on for the day, then. Right. The brief next wants us to look at the best ways of helping successful asylum to become an integral part of British society.
But let's not forget that there are some people who you wouldn't want to integrate with, even if they were the last rightly marginalised social group on Earth. Without mentioning any names, religious fanatics.
Good point. Britain has become heartily sceptical about religious fanaticism ever since Cromwell straight red-carded much-loved national traditions such as Christmas, peaceable relations with the Irish, and monarchs having heads.
Come on, Oscar. Britain and the asylum are made for each other. They need us to keep them in a manner to which they'd be prepared to become accustomed, and we need them to shoulder the low-paid jobs which our homegrown citizens won't touch with a poorly made barge pole.
Well then, it's time for both parties to do the decent thing, get down on their knees, and make a proper, binding commitment to each other.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today, in the presence of various gods and the Home Office, to witness the joining together in marriage of the United Kingdom and the asylum. Will the British public please step forward? Please repeat after me. I, British public, take you, dispossessed throng of the world's economic migrants and political persecutees, to be a fellow British citizen. Do you, British public, promise to forgo all racism, casual or otherwise, to relinquish any lingering feelings of superiority, and to accept that your nation is the product of countless invasions and immigrations over thousands of years?
We do.
And now, passport-seeking asylum, please step forward. Do you promise to undertake the majority of this nation's poorly paid, unskilled labour, forsaking all your qualifications, and receiving in return little or no gratitude?
We do.
If anyone knows of any reason why these two social bodies should not be mixed, let them speak now, or forever hold their peace.
They're costing the welfare state 100 billion pins a
They're already married to another country!
Any man, that is, who does not work for the tabloid press. Then, by the powers invested in me by King Arthur, I don my ceremonial Elvis robes and pronounce you all British citizens. You may kiss. All right, please yourselves.
It'll be the best day of our lives.
I love weddings.
Yeah, and I like free buffets, but let's not get too carried away by the riptide of romance. Statistically, 100% of marriages end in divorce or death. Or more specifically, 50% in divorce and 50% in death.
That is based on the unreliable sample of your marriages, Victor.
Hey, I didn't know she couldn't swim, or indeed that she was shark intolerant.
Well, Britain needs to give this marriage a better chance than the ex and late Mrs. Victor Gooch has had by ensuring that it stays attractive to hypothetical future asylagrants.
Well, you're right. We don't want to miss out on any more good ones. Think of who we've already let slip by. Albert Einstein,
Donald Bradman,
Luther Vandross,
the Dalai Lama.
What?
Always been a big fan, Oscar. He was fantastic in A Streetcar Named Desire.
That was Vivian Leigh.
Was it? He was pumped.
And don't forget, Britain as a nation is getting old. We can't rely on British charm to seduce the tastiest potential new Brits from around the world anymore.
Well, in that case, Oscar, we're going to have to use the tried and tested British technique of force. We should employ crack teams of Home Office headhunters to scour the world for talented individuals and forcibly repatriate them to Britain.
There she is!
Grab her, Wilbur!
What's going on?
Professor Poppy Ortiz from Caracas University.
Yes?
You've been selected to immigrate to Britain.
What? But I am happy here, and I am in the middle of critical and groundbreaking research into Venezuelan biodiversity.
That's why we wanted you. We need top-level scientists. Bundle her into the boot, Wilbur.
Come on!
No, please, anywhere but Britain. They won't fund this kind of research. The Venezuelan ecosystem needs me.
Wilbur, do the changeover.
Right you are, Brendan. Out you get, Mr. Hargreaves.
Where am I?
Hargreaves, I'm afraid you're absolutely no use to Britain. You've been swapped for Professor Ortiz. See ya!
Poppy?
Hello. It would seem that apparently I'm your new wife.
Oh. Have you seen my car keys, Poppita?
I'm not a bloody housekeeper. I'm an independent woman.
Is that not skirting dangerously close to kidnapping people into slavery again?
We'll pay them better this time.
Yeah, I don't think pay was the main objection. We should be trying to stop people coming here by making the rest of the world a nicer place to spend your life in.
Do you want a guitar and some beads with that suggestion, Oscar?
Wouldn't it be worth exploring the option of dissuading people from coming here by making Britain as unattractive as possible to the would-be asylagrant?
Well, if you look at our town centres, the pub trade and British youth are already making Herculean efforts to complete that task.
Yes, and that is a start, but we need to have the courage of their convictions and totally destroy any potentially appealing facet of modern Britain.
Welcome to National Demolition Day. I'm Lily Alderman.
And I'm Lawson Bright, and here in Nottingham there's a carnival atmosphere as people line the streets hell-bent on destruction, just waiting for the official signal to unleash absolute mayhem.
Before it all kicks off, I'm going to grab a quick word with some of the people here who've camped out overnight to ensure a good spot to smash something up. Hello, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Hugh Sporder, and me, my family and I have decided to come and torch the local school. It's a fantastic school with brilliant facilities and is therefore very attractive to anyone wanting to flee persecution in a far-flung land and come here instead, so it's got to go.
Well, good luck with that, Hugh. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Well, the time for demolition is nearly here. Let's cross now to the Trevor Chapel in Westminster, where the Home Office Minister, Wellham Kentmarsh, will declare this the first, and if all goes well, only National Day of Demolition open.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a momentous day for our soon-to-be unrecognisable nation. By the end of today, we will be the last place on earth anyone would dream of coming to. Bulldozers, start your engines. Wrecking balls, prepare your pendulums. People of Britain, On my signal, unleash hell!
Well, Demolition Day is in full swing. It's glorious chaos as far as the eye can see.
Well, Lawson, I can see on the satellite feeds that Britain's entire infrastructure is under spectacular attack. Smoke is rising from Parliament buildings in London, Edinburgh and Cardiff, and the Queen is on the roof of Buckingham Palace with a pickaxe.
Well, I'm off to join the hordes of British people now heading for the coast, hoping to build a new life somewhere in Eastern Europe. So, good luck to you all. Excellent! The Congo technique. All our immigration parcels successfully passed around the global circle of responsibility with one coordinated obliteration. Great. Well, disc up the chute then, Laszlo. Well, it's been a very productive and a surprisingly mild afternoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Victor, you seem to have successfully bell-muted Keith's much-trombone heatwave.
Yep. Yet again, the eco-threat was exaggerated. I simply unplugged the department ice cap. The cooling effect of the melting ice easily counterbalanced the warming effect of the heatwave.
Right, Victor, I'm a qualified scientician, but could you just jog my memory, sure? When ice melts, what was it that it turns into?
Often, it's water.
Attention, department employees. There is a... What
Give me that microphone.
Get out of my booth, Belk.
Oh, flood! This is not a simulation. This is a flood! All department employees to congregate on the department emergency refugee raft. Over and out. There, you can have it back now.
That sounds like a lot of water trying to get in through the door, Victor.
Mm-hmm.
And I am a notorious non-swimmer.
Ah, Mr. Flood, do come in.
We better swim for it!
I'm not feeling very floaty!
Hey, look, there's Captain Oates floating by.
Quick, cling on to him, Oscar. Dead polar explorers are naturally buoyant.
Oh, how far away is the refugee raft?
Couple more corridors.
Hello, Team 32.
Oh, Keith, thank God you're here.
Hey, Keith, can we get in your gondola?
No, you may not. And it's not a gondola, it's a speed gondola.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, you caused this mess, you can slosh around in it for a bit. Lucky for you, the department is fully waterproofed. Unlike, it seems, Laszlo. He's swollen up to 3 times his normal size. You look like a whale in a badly fitting suit.
So I osmose. You got a problem with that?
Ignore him, Laszlo. I'll squeeze you out later.
Oh, come on, Keith, fish us out.
Well, since you put it in those terms, with pleasure.
Oh, a creme brulee.
No! Don't take the bait, Oscar!
Ah, right to the cheek.
Oh, I've hooked me a whopper. You put on weight, Oscar?
No.
Looks like another department angling title heading into my trophy filing cabinet.
Hang on, what about us, Keith?
You two can swim. You'll make it, unless the rapidly approaching Japanese Bridget gets to you first on her whaler. See you later.
Laszlo, it's nothing personal, but I am going to be saving myself. Best of luck.
Wear a Greenpeace when you actually want them. No, Bridget, put the harpoon down! Oh, it's me, Laszlo! We met at the department wine-wasting evening! I've been meaning to apologise to you about my behaviour that evening. Please don't turn me into soap.
The Department was written and performed by John Oliver and Andy Zaltzman and featured Chris Addison with Peter Dickson, Matthew Holness and Lucy Montgomery. Maurice Hamilton is on a one-stop strategy to broadcasting Valhalla. Produced by Richard Grocock. The Department is an Avalon production for BBC Radio 4. Now, write up your notes and have them on my desk by breakfast time.